So a common question I see floating around YouTube is, why is my video description so essential to me getting more views and impressions on my video? For me personally, a common question for me is, why is my description over 4,200 characters? Well, you know what? My question to you is, why is yours not 4,200 characters? Ha! So really, why is it so big? I mean, dude, it looks awesome, man. That's why it's so big. In today's video, I go over exactly why you having a well thought out and laid out description will immediately increase the performance of your video. And on top of that, I'm gonna go over this brand new add-on feature called Mercury that allows you to be able to add real-time sub counters as well as polls into your video description. Hey, what's going on? My name is Max and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time on my channel and you wanna learn how to make awesome and successful YouTube content, make sure you subscribe right now so that way you don't miss any content. So to give you the short answer as to why your description is so important for you to get more views and impressions on YouTube, it's because YouTube uses your description to learn more about what your video is about. The biggest thing you need to understand is that the YouTube algorithm isn't designed to go watch your videos and figure out what your video is about. What it does instead is it analyzes your titles, your captions, as well as your description to find keywords and phrases to be able to figure out what your video is about. What we're going to do now is we're going to go through my description and I'm going to tell you exactly why I have it laid out the way I do. But the first thing you need to understand is that there is a default section to be able to have a default description for your YouTube video. How you can access this is when you go to your YouTube studios and under your settings, you can go to upload defaults, and here you can add an upload default description to every one of your videos. So let's ask the question again, why is my description over 4,200 characters? After this breakdown, I promise you're gonna understand why and you're gonna wanna do this yourself. The key to setting up any great description is coming up with some sort of template or following a template that's provided for you. Luckily for you, I actually have a template that you're gonna see on screen right now. We're gonna go through each one of the sections. Let's go over this template from top to bottom, starting with the top part of the description, which is going to go over exactly what your video is about. The number one thing I try to focus on with the top half of my description is I want to make sure within the first 25 characters that my keyword and phrase for the video appear there in an organic way. How I figure out exactly what keywords and phrases I want to use for my videos is through an extension called TubeBuddy. I actually have a video right here that goes over exactly how to use TubeBuddy, so make sure you watch that video next. After I figure out what my initial paragraph is going to be, I usually add 1 to 2 additional paragraphs with different keywords and phrases that I'm targeting for the video. The thing I like to add next is a reminder to subscribe with a link. If you click that link, that actually takes you back to the home page and asks you if you want to subscribe. You can actually add this link in 2 different ways, but one of the easiest ways that I've found so far is using this Mercury widget that I'm going to talk about here in just a minute. After the subscribe link, for me personally, I have a link to my Twitch page, which is where I'm live streaming right now, but you can have other things like your Twitter page, your Patreon, or whatever you want to add here. This next one is actually super underrated, and I don't see a lot of people having this, but having an up next section of videos that you feel like will pair well with the video you just made is actually really useful. This is one of the biggest reasons why having videos around a similar subject matter are very important, because what you can do is you can actually tie back to another video that you've already made when you're making your new video. So for example, in the up next section for this video, you're gonna see my video covering TubeBuddy. You're also gonna see a video talking about how to maximize the YouTube SEO, and then you're also gonna see one other video talking about the YouTube algorithm. One pro tip is I copy the title from the video since it has keywords and phrases, and then I add that just above the link to the video. Timestamps are up next, and if you're not currently adding these into your videos, YouTube has said multiple times that eventually they're going to be adding auto-generated timestamps to your videos. So if you want some level of control in this, you might as well just go ahead and start adding timestamps to your videos now. If you didn't know, adding timestamps to your videos actually adds chapters to your videos that will appear while you're watching the video, while you're searching for a video on Google, and then also in YouTube search when you're searching for your video as well. A pro tip is you can actually have titles attached to each one of your chapters, and what you can do with these titles is you can actually have them have keywords and phrases to add more discoverability to your video as well. This next one is completely optional. That may seem a little odd, but typically what I like to do is I have a question that I like to ask in my YouTube videos, and typically I will answer it myself in the description as well. This actually accomplishes several things. What this does is it allows me to be able to elaborate on a specific point in the video I felt like was super important, or it allows me to be able to answer the question of the day in my own way, giving my own opinion on it. Also, as a double whammy, what this allows me to do is to be able to add more keywords and phrases to my videos to also increase my discoverability for my videos. This next one is actually one I got from LJ over at StreamElements, and that's to add creators that you're similar to in your description as well. This is great for 2 reasons, because number one, the creators that you're saying you're similar to technically are keywords, especially if they're larger YouTubers, and it's not guaranteed that you're going to show up next to these people in suggested or in the search feed. However, it's just another way to add some more keywords to your video. The second thing is it's just cool to think that you make similar content to these other creators that you've been looking up to for years, right? Face it, you're never going to be as cool as them. A lot of the things we talked about to this point are things that change from video to video. Now we're going to be getting into some things that are default from video to video, so that way you can get an idea of what really needs to go into this default section for your YouTube video. The next section we're going to talk about is helpful links and helpful videos. Basically, the idea is that when I find a resource that's super beneficial to content creators, what I do is instead of just adding a link to that resource, I actually make a video on this and add this to this section, so that way you can actually watch a video of me talking about this resource instead. An example of this is I made a video series talking about the website called Snappa. The idea behind the series was to cover everything you can do with the website, so that way you can know exactly what you're paying for if you decide to sign up for the website. The next one is completely optional, but what I did is I actually created several kit link pages that tell you exactly what gear I use, as well as what type of gear I recommend for content creators. To me personally, this is great because instead of me having to answer questions about what's the best lights, what's the best camera, or what I have in my computer, I can just link them to my kit page, so that way they can just figure out all that stuff themselves. Also, if people are looking for some recommendations of what type of gear they should be looking at for when they start creating content, I could just link them to one of these kit pages and it saves me a ton of time. The last benefit is if you're an Amazon affiliate, you can actually add your Amazon affiliate links to these kit pages, so that way you can make a commission from these kit links as well. Toward the bottom of the description, I just add some additional social media links, as well as I have my business email, and then I have my 3 hashtags that I want for the video. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over the StreamElements Mercury thing that I talked about in the beginning of the video that allows you to add widgets into your description. To do that, we're going to go into the PC, so guess what? I'm going to lower the desk now, baby. Yeah! Standing desks are awesome. I don't care what anybody says. Basically, to this point, what StreamElements has been most notably known for is their live streaming services through OBS Live, and also their cloud-based services that they allow you to upload overlays and various things to limit the amount of load on your PC. The coolest thing about these widgets is that they update in real time. So if you add the sub goal counter to any video description, it's going to update over time as you gain subscribers on your channel. So the first thing you need to do is you need to go to the website, you need to click this link right here, and then you're going to go ahead and connect your YouTube account. The first thing you're going to notice when you get in here is that there's a full analytics page that has some features similar to YouTube Studio. The one analytic we care about here is that when you add a poll to any one of your descriptions, you can actually see how many people actually voted on that poll. So to add a poll or any other widget to your descriptions, what you're going to do is you're going to go to my videos and then go under edit on the particular video you want to add it to. From here is where you can start adding things to your description. The cool thing is you can add things like your Patreon or your PayPal link to be able to get tips on your videos, and you can also do some things like set goals for these particular things as well. You can also quickly add links to like your Patreon or that subscribe link like I talked about in the beginning of the video. You can also add these spotlight features that they have in there, such as your newest subscriber, your newest Patreon member, or even your latest tipper if you're just having people tip to your PayPal. Lastly, the coolest and the most engaging feature that I found is the one that allows you to be able to add a poll into your description. The reason why this is so cool is because it's like having a mini community tab in each one of your videos. The cool thing is that the possibilities are endless for this polling system, because you could either get feedback on your video or you could ask for feedback on what types of videos people want to see next. The only gripe that I have about this StreamElements poll thing is the fact that when you click the link to vote, it actually suggests that you go away from the YouTube app and then you end up on this thank you for voting page on StreamElements. The one thing to keep in mind is that this is a beta, so there's a lot of changes going to happen to this, so I'm not really overly concerned about it, but that's one thing that I really hope changes over time. My question of the day for you guys is, what have you been adding to your descriptions that maybe I didn't talk about in this video? Also, are there things in this video that I talked about that you're going to be adding into your description as well? Make sure you check out the videos on screen right now, because they're going to help you understand the algorithm just a little bit better. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.